for 5 days. Yeah. So it is supposed to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, that's when you're going to be leaving. And of course, he's from Nigeria. I'm going to do a simple profile about him. He's from Nigeria. He has done songs, of course, collaborated with that gentleman. He's called Reekado Banks. Yes. Then of course the mother started. Your mother was doing band. Was doing music a little bit. Then from there you also tried and you're like, no, now I'm supposed to be venturing in. So you looked at the countries where you're supposed to be going, which has that about coming on music, the people who are good in music. And of course in East Africa you're like, no, if I'm from Kenya, then I'm supposed to be passing through Uganda. But now, for the people who are watching, and if I've not said anything about you, can take them through.
Yeah, it's Olisa Franklin, and you already know. My brother said everything, a lot that I was so amazing new. So, but it's okay. I love being. This is my first time in Uganda, and the experience has been massive. The love, the culture, the people. It's been so warming and heartwarming. I feel like I can come here every day of the week.
That's the same thing you are saying in Kenya, and they made you say what, and then they're like, now you're officially Kenyan, and you're like, yes, now I'm officially. Now you've come to Uganda, it's like, now I'm going to be Ugandan.
Yes, definitely, because we as musicians are the closest brand that can represent Africa, and if I cannot suit in and feel like a Ugandan, then actually I'm not representing Africa. Maybe I'm representing Nigeria. But when I say I feel like Ugandan, or if I go to Kenya and say I feel like Kenyan, it's because I've mixed with the culture. I'm not in Nigeria saying it. I'm actually here in Uganda saying it. That means I've mixed with the culture and the people are one. And definitely it's something I'm proud to represent any day, anytime, the Ugandan flag, and that is it.
And who are some of the artists so far you've met, or you've listened to their music and you're like, you know what? In Uganda, I met this guy here. I've listened to this track, and this one is good. This lady, I feel like, who do I collab?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to my brother Eddie Kenzo. He's one person out of many that are representing Uganda already and making Africa proud. So that's why I said on my Emergence African tour, which is out of the album, the 13-track album I just dropped, I said definitely Uganda is a place to be, because the culture of music is already existing in these places that I choose. I'm not the person coming to bring music, rather I'm coming to tap from the existing culture and platform of the Ugandans, because musically you watch these countries and you see that music has a soul in their culture, and definitely we should keep our fingers crossed.
So far, Eddie Kenzo, and I knew you've been knowing that one there. Apart from Eddie Kenzo, any other like females, males?
Yeah, Sheba is.
Sheba did good.
Yeah, and definitely a lot.
Do you know a guy called Pepe Cole?
Of course, of course.
Chameleon, do you know him?
Of course.
Bobby Wine, do you know him?
Bobby Wine, of course I do.
Fit for Micah? You don't know John Black? Cindy?
Come on, I'm definitely going to look out for them all.
There's these two ladies are having something like a battle, So there is Sheba, and then there is Cindy. So you knowing Sheba, not knowing Cindy, for them they're like, now, you see? You know me, you get the point. So when you're making decisions, selection of the countries you're supposed to be moving in, why those particular countries, did you select, and you're not like you're going to cover the whole of Africa going in them?
Actually, the plan is actually to cover the whole Africa, but you have to start somewhere. And as much as the brand is establishing in these few countries that we've picked, like the Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania in East Africa, we'll definitely spread our wings to every other African country that musically. But the reason why we highlighted first these countries, and Uganda is one of them, is just like I've said earlier, the music lives in the people. You have to observe and know how music has been existing in this country, and people representing these countries musically. You see real African music. You see the culture. I'm so hungry to understand the language so I can put it in my songs. I'm so hungry to collaborate with them. I'm so hungry to work with the producers, because definitely the Ugandan sound and the Ugandan thing is something that the West cannot represent from the West. You have to be in East to be able to flow with the tide and the vibe that is already existing in Uganda.
So you've come in, and I've noticed, by the way, he's going to be also be at Silk Liquid. I think you don't know that. Silk Liquid, I saw you're going to be there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Emergency album, if you want someone to digest it, to get it, what is it that you would tell them about the Emergency album? And is it already out? Like, can people go on social media and then pick it up?
Yeah. You can actually get Emergence album on all digital media platforms. And Emergence album, it's more of us telling a story of West African music to the rest of Africa and to the world. And because I made it a side A and side B thing, the old cassettes we always have, the side A and side B creation on it. Side A represented Nigeria musically, and side B represented Ghana musically. And the side B of the album was produced by a Ghanaian music producer, an ace Ghanaian music producer, Guilty Beats. And the side A was produced by a Nigerian music producer, because I always believe this thing. If I want to make a sound and represent Ghana, I don't have to make a Nigerian play me a Ghanaian sound.
Sure.
A Ghanaian has to play that sound. It's original. That because we as a brand that is strongly based and built to represent African music, all Africans, all hands must be on deck.
Yeah.
It's not something an individual can pull out. So that's why we also put out the West African sound made by a Ghanaian and a Nigerian producer. And I collaborated on the Nigerian side with Reekado Banks, and on the Ghanaian side with Easy.
Yeah.
So all this was put out to represent the West Africa. And that's why after we dropped the Emergence album, then we took it up from there to represent our next project, which we are working on already with this tour. It's representing the whole of Africa. And just like I always feel never to use a Nigerian to represent a Ugandan, I always want to come to the country, work with the A-list producers and the ace artists, because definitely there is this existing music culture already existing in these countries. Sure. So I am coming just to fit in and be able to understand the language, the people, and the food. Yeah, so that's it.
Because I'm reporting to you now directly, and this has been going on here in Uganda. Señorito, when Ugandans were, they brought up something called Save Ugandan Music, They brought out Save Ugandan Music, and it was after much of Nigerian music was playing here. Much of Nigerian music was playing here, like too much of it. And then the DJs could play, the TVs, the radios. And here we digest, we get your music, But when it comes to you guys that side, I don't know, how is Ugandan music doing both in Ghana and Nigeria?
I think first off, there is nothing like the Nigerian music. I think we are all representing Afro-pop.
Yeah.
The genre is what we all should be, all hands should be on deck to push to the global market. We have to make it a world genre. Because now...
No, let me tell you, before we even go in for a break, this is what we're going to be doing. You see, you're all representing, Afro-pop, which is cool. But here in Uganda, you go to clubs and you might think that you're in Nigeria. You get the point? But now, I want, if you say Afro-pop, and Nigerians there on the radios and then clubs, they play Ugandan music. Be genuine on that.
Of course, definitely, because I think we are in a global platform, which is the social media right now, and that if Eddie Kenzo drops a song today, I'll be in Nigeria and download it. I mean, I might be the first person to download it even before the Ugandans. Yeah. So if you're on social media, you're connected to everybody in the world. And if someone loves your music and they are playing it, I think he's not just playing it because you're a Nigerian. Yeah. I don't listen to sounds because maybe the reggae thing, you see Ghanaians doing reggae and even all that, but I don't think we should look at it like, I have to first find the Jamaican reggae to play so I can understand. No, it's a genre, so we are all representing that genre.
This is what we're going to be doing. We are going to just go in for a short break. Then of course the cock moment will be coming through. I don't know whether Olisa Franklin will still be here, because I got a problem getting hold on to your social media real handles. So I think you'll be having some time, at least like 10 minutes as we're chatting with him. But for now, let's just go in for this short break, then after we're going to be getting back. We're still here, and of course, Olisa Franklin is here, and I'm loving the chats of her. And you know, looking at some of your tracks at one moment, because if you see, there's One Night, then there is Overdose, then there is Thank God. And this time around, I got surprised. I'm like, thank God. Is this gospel music? You do gospel and secular, or thank God was just something that just chipped in?
I think thank God was me being human and knowing that at every point there's something you have to be thankful for. After I dropped the Overdose remix, which became big in Africa and people started, I got the audience and I got to this level that everything I wanted to do became easy. I think it was now like what I've always wanted to do. And I had these opportunities. And I was in that state as a human, seeing these things becoming easy for me, not letting them get over my head and thinking that I've gotten to that level I've always wanted. Because I always know that at any level you are in life, there's still a next level to your level. So thank God is just me being human and saying, okay, thank God that I am here today, but still I know that there are other higher levels to the level I'm on. Thank God that I'm here today, and I pray I still get higher and higher and higher and not let it get way over my head. So, I mean, you don't have to be a gospel musician to represent God, and thank you.
So because God was making things easy for you, like, no, I can also do something with easy, so you did something with easy. Again, there is Reekado Banks. How did that connection happen? Who brought the suggestion of you guys working together?
I think the Reekado Banks, I have this thing with music that when I'm making a sound, I already know who will easily flow in with it. So with the Reekado Banks remix, after I dropped the original of Overdose, I tweeted Reekado Banks. Shout out to Reekado Banks, he's a brother. I tweeted him on Twitter like, oh, he's one of the people, he's the person I would love to have on the remix of. So I think he checked it out. I mean, artists, they are always on their social media.
Then the other one, Easy.
Yeah, so he checked it out and he jumped on it. And with Easy, I had to let my management reach out to them, and they made it easy because I think we're just ambassadors representing African music.
Because the good thing, DJ Nas Africano, he puts on his t-shirts with his own name, which is also cool. Do you find it sensible for a DJ or an artist, let me say you're Olisa Franklin, again you put on a shirt having Olisa Franklin, and it's not just a label, but you know, you just make it for yourself. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, of course.
To me, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, no, come on.
I know his name is called DJ Nas Africano, but he's putting on his shirt, Nas African.
Yeah, but you never know. Someone might just be passing and be watching today, and they just, oh, DJ.
DJ. So basically, you
keep reminding them.
You're branding yourself, your name. So those guys are the ones I was talking about, the DJs who go to clubs and they play much of Nigerian music. And you're trying to explain to me, because I was trying to ask, in Nigeria, in other countries that you've moved in, do Nigerians have that much love that Ugandans have for them here? Because that fight that they put up, which was fight for Ugandan music, save Ugandan music, because they were playing much of your music, guys, which is okay because it's nice music. But do Nigerians do the same when they're down there in the clubs? Leave along those things of social media. It's all about the media playing the music without even them having visited here. Yeah,
I think one thing you have to understand, I think in Nigeria, we don't even know we have this Nigerian sound. Yeah. We believe we play Afro pop.
Yeah.
So, and you saying Nigerians have it. Eddie Kenzo, when he drops his song, it goes on all media platforms in Nigeria. I'm talking about the Sound City, the Hip TVs, and.
But at least he's one, not all the others.
I think maybe the others too should put the sounds. You know, if you follow most of these Nigerian arts, they really don't settle in Nigeria. Now they are in Tanzania, the next minute they are in Kenya, the next minute they are in South Africa. I mean,
they try to promote,
They are going out there to let the other Africans in, as much as Davido might be as big as he is, but the next minute, like Stonebwoy was just in Kenya with us, Yemi Alade was just in Kenya, that was 2 days ago. And you see these people, no matter how big they get, they come closer to the people.
But there is something with Nigeria. Señorita will tell me also, DJ Nas African. When movies started, Of course, Nigeria. But who didn't watch Nigeria? We call them Nigeria. We brand them. They were watched here so much that even today we play them. Even on this TV, morning hours, we play Nigerian movies. So now we leave that. Again, now came music. Again, we are digesting you. I don't know how you guys do it. Again, when it comes to Bafere, do you know what Bafere means in Uganda? Bafere, con people, con men. Yeah, again, you're number one anywhere in the world. Did you know about that one there?
I think,
When it comes to Nigeria, you be genuine.
Yeah, I think definitely Nigeria has the population.
Yeah.
And just like we always say, in every 12, there will be a Judas. Yeah. So if Nigeria has about 250 million people, I think the Judas in there has to be much. You see? So the population makes it a big country. And talking about the music side of it, I think the only way we can be able to look at it, because I don't think when you want to play reggae, Lucky Dube is from South Africa, but we never mention Lucky Dube South African reggae.
Yes.
So we should take out, it's a genre we are promoting
because
here.
You're the ones benefiting
immediately
the most.
you start putting these countries in them, it takes away how big the Afro-pop can be, because we can't push it to the global market without it being a collaborative effort, because there's a lot of different cultures in Africa that you can't write them off.
Yeah.
I mean, we value you so much. That's why I have to fly over a 5 hours, 6 hours flight to Uganda. Yeah. If we are in Nigeria and we feel like we have it all, I'm sure I wouldn't be here today.
Very true.
So you don't take it, we never take it like it's a Nigerian thing. We believe we are all trying to represent and collaborate with our African brothers to push Afro-pop to that reggae standard, that a world genre that even if in Germany or anywhere a white person can download Afropop for being Afropop and not for being a Nigerian music. So the whole Africa can play.
So when it comes to your social media handles, Olisa Franklin, I was trying to see your specific YouTube account, to see your specific, Instagram, your specific, with Twitter it was so easy. So in case someone wants to get to you on your real ones, because the fakes are always very many, what are they supposed to do?
On social media, you can, on YouTube and every other downloading streaming platforms, Olisa Franklin. I might spell OLISAFRANKLIN. Olisa Franklin. And on social media, on Instagram, you can get at me at Olisa Franklin _TNR. But I'm sure when you type the Olisa Franklin, the real ones always prevail. But on Twitter, Olisa Franklin, and on all Facebook, Olisa Franklin. So we are everywhere.
About the is it a TNN label? Tell me about that one there.
TNR Records. It's a music label that its main genuine goal is to build the people, the African sounds, the Afrobeat people that don't have these platforms, because it's my record label. I made it out, and it was a way for me, knowing the circumstances and situations I faced, not having these platforms to build and perform on. So when I got the recognition and the audience to start playing, I knew there are still other young ones out there who really want so bad to be to the likes of, be on this show today, but individually will not have the platform or the resources to be on this show today. So I created the TNR brand to represent the whole Africa and give these individual artists a platform that they never had. You can not just waiting until someone signs you, but hoping for independent artists to have this platform. So TNR Music represents independent artists who are yet to be signed that would like to collaborate.
Then when it's a whole word, that's its abbreviation. In full is what?
The full is They're Never Ready.
They're Never Ready.
Yeah.
And now you create a label. Basically, you signed yourself. And you're the label, you signed yourself, and then you're supposed to pay yourself, and then you want to help out other people. Who are some of the kids that you've gotten so far?
I think the last time I was in Kenya, I saw this boy band. They are 3. And I knew they already, I saw them with their video. I loved it because these are the people that have this African thing, the Afro pop, to the next generation Afro pop. And I'm so happy representing Afro pop, because when you see these younger ones trying to do Afro pop, it means that this is a genre that will outlive each and every one of us. So the best thing we can do is represent it the best way we can, so that our names, when we are gone, can still be remembered. So in Kenya now, I'm in Uganda, I will definitely put my ear on the ground. I think I spoke with my management already on that. We had some chit chats about that already. So we are looking out to all these African countries we are going to know the kids independently that have this sound, the unique gift and talent that need platforms to, you know, establish and become a world and global stars.
Okay, now this is to help all of us. Yeah, also if you are an artist, if you're into entertainment, this is to help all of us, together with Signorito and DJ Nas. Yeah, so this one is not basically about you. You see here in Uganda, who pays the other? Does your management pay you, or you pay your management?
As an artist,
did they employ you, your management? Did they employ you, or it's you employing your management?
I think that's why you have a contract tabled to you before any thing starts. So it's flexible both ways, because that depends on the contract you're able to negotiate when you're signing these record deals. And when they put it out there, it depends. If you're an artist, an independent artist, you know, you can sign a contract with the management who will be paying you. When you're relatively big, you can form your own management, but still under that label, and you might end up paying your management. So it works both ways. Artists can pay.
So what does your management do for you?
I think the hard work. There's no artist who can tell me today that he is representing himself alone. You have a lot of people
it's
on the
common here in Uganda.
No, but trust me, maybe they don't want to make it a big thing. But because the management basically are the guys who put in all the work, like behind the scene guys who put in all the work to make sure you look good as a brand, to make sure that you're well represented, and to make sure that what you are putting out is massive and it also helps the brand.
Okay, as we are winding up, what is it that you'd love to tell the Ugandans and everyone who is watching in from wherever they could be?
First off, I love the culture in Uganda and the people and the language. I'm dying to learn the language. I think I've learned so far Chioma. Yeah, so definitely I'll try to learn more, because to tell you, we represent all these countries. So I just want you to know, Afro-pop, maybe in other things you can say maybe is the Nigerian thing, but just so you know, Afro-pop, it's a culture and a movement, and it's something Africans, because the word Afro means Africa. I don't think it's Niger pop. So Afro pop should be something widely accepted by Africans, regardless of the country of the person playing it. We are brothers. Let's collaborate and make it a world global genre.
And how did you find the women? Last one.
I mean, look at. I mean, we can't even go far.
What are you seeing?
We can't even go far.
What do you see?
Glamorous African queens, originality.
Where is the African queenness and the originalityness?
Oh, if you're a king, you will be able to recognize a queen when you see one.
Thank you very much for passing through. Of course, DJ Nas African is here. He's been Olisa Franklin. You can follow him up. I've listened to his tracks, you know, and it is just so beautiful, So let's first watch that one there. This is the main one, Of course, it is going to be played the other side. Of course, thank you, God.